FBC Firebreak is out, but is it fun? Turn the volume up, let's talk about it. A quick little rundown of Firebreak. It's by Remedy Games. They're the people that make Control. They're not really making multiplayer shooters. This is something that they don't really do. You pretty much got 5 mission types where you go and do chore-like tasks throughout the mission. It's a pretty simple game. It kind of has that Left 4 Dead vibe where you go in and every mission's the same every single time, or roughly the same every single time. But you're completing tasks instead of taking out bad guys. There are bad guys called the Hiss. We'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, is the game fun in total? For a review standpoint, I'm really torn. The first 2 hours of this game, I really enjoyed myself. I know this game's got a lot of hate since, but I had fun. I think a lot of that was that I was playing co-op with my brother. We were on stream. Usually we talk a lot of shit. We're making jokes. That we're discovering new things, and our brains kind of work that way, that as long as there's something new and exciting on the screen, we're kind of like, oh, okay, this is fun. He then logged off, because he works a lot earlier than me, and the next 3 hours was, oh boy, started to be a real slog, and then I played it since, and it was a bit more of a slog too. It was really this moment at the 2 hour mark when because what we did is we went through all the levels, and we did like level 1, and then you can only do like one part of it, and then you unlock the second part for the next run, and then the third part for the run after that. And you can do that with all 5 levels. When I found out that it's not like randomly generated or there's nothing different, it's just almost the same. Every now and then there's a big enemy that comes in, but they're not really that difficult to kill. The bolt action rifle kills some of them in 3 or 4 shots, so and it's really almost impossible to die in this game. There's no real suspense or anything that gets you scared after about 40 minutes once you realize how everything works in the game. And then from there, the game really does lack a fair bit. There is a pretty robust perk system and things to unlock, but I've now done every mission on the hardest difficulty without any problems. I'd say a lot of my teammates weren't very good. Even on the hardest difficulty, even though there's limited spawns, there's a timer that they come back every minute. So there's no real, you can't, this game is like Left 4 Dead for kids, I think, but the tasks are quite weird too. They really are chore generators. They are, you're putting off doing chores in real life to play a video game where you do chores. And they were fine again for the first 2 hours, but then once we kind of got past that and you had to go back to destroying a bunch of post-it notes in the exact same way, it becomes a grind, or fixing these fans, or what was some of the other ones? You had to get these radioactive pearls from these leech monster, these little leech things that stuck out of a mine. It wasn't super exciting or fun to do towards the end. It's just quite tedious. It's tedious, the generator. I could do chores at home and not get told off my wife for not doing them, instead of doing them in a game. And $40, I got this for free because I've already got Game Pass. Well, free's a term, but I was already getting Game Pass, so for me this was no cost. So it just missed the mark. I feel like if this game came out as an alpha and you played the 2 hours worth, you'd be like, oh, cool, give me a call when the full game comes out. And the fact that this is the full game is, it's rough. It's pretty tough. Guns-wise, there's a fair few guns to choose from. They're really quite old-looking, I would say. I would say it's like an MP40 style sort of submachine gun, some sort of bolt-action rifle, and a Magnum pistol. Those sort of weapons. None of them really stand out because, once again, you can't really die from the Hiss. You would have to really drop the ball. And I'm not an MLG player of any game. I'm not amazing, but I'm pretty overall decent at video games. But if you do make a mistake, you're not really punished. Once you figure out how enemies work, you can kill them all pretty quickly. There's nothing that would keep you coming back from the Hiss or the enemy standpoint that makes this game more difficult. The only thing that you really die from is some of the things on the levels. For instance, the mission where you're fixing the fans because it's too hot. The last one, you need to shut this mega fan that blows like a sun almost every minute. If you don't get behind cover, it'll kill you. And the only way to kill it, is to load up these barrels and then throw barrels into the fan and then shut the doors on it. So it's really not that difficult. There wasn't a mission, like I said, on impossible difficulty that I haven't been able to clock, just with randoms online. And I was a bit taken back with that. I would have thought with like such a huge amount of perks to unlock that it would have been one of those games that was like, you can't do this level, level 4. You need to really work your way up and be a master of one of the 3 kit types that you can get, which are an electric guy, someone that throws water down, and someone else that has a fix-it machine where they just whack things and it's numerically fixed. They can also whack other opponents. So, yeah, there's not really much base to any of the characters either. There's just nothing that really keeps you coming back. And like I said, I had a blast with the first 2 hours, and it's just a shame that this moment hit of like, oh no, this is just the game. And I think a lot of people have jumped on it I think a lot of people have seen the reviews and then done reviews themselves where they go into it in the first hour being like, oh, look at this. Oh, look at this hiss. It's so boring. But if you really went in with no real knowledge on it, then it was legitimately for the first 90 minutes that you were like, oh shit, this guy, oh god, we've got this big guy. But once you figure out, like I said, how to kill them all, there's no problem. I've never failed a mission either, which I think when you've gone through everything that the game has to offer, we should have failed a few times at least. So the difficulty definitely needs a rebalancing, but there's nothing that would keep you coming back unless you're someone that really wants to hunt achievements down. There's just nothing really here. There's no real comedic moments. It's just a very bland game when it comes to the end game. And my brother, when he logged off after 2 hours, was like, I feel like I've done work. And I wasn't quite there yet, but I definitely get what he meant after about half an hour after that, when I wasn't doing that with him and we're not laughing. It got rough. It got really, really rough, that game. And there's just a lot better games. There's that Warhammer one, Darkside or Darktide. That does this a lot better, so I recommend if you are looking for that fix, maybe go play that. Deep Rock Galactic is a bit more randomly procedured, but again, go play that instead. I just don't see what the need is for this game. I'm a little bit over unfinished, boring games that you can't get more than 2 hours of gameplay out of, unless they're like a couple of bucks. And I think this game's getting a lot of a fatigue on that front. Like we've kind of had a rough few months of that. Like Mind's Eye was kind of the poster child of it, but there's been a fair few games that have just been like pretty meh. And this game was that too. Like I just left going like, oh god, okay, yep, no worries at all. By the end of it, and again, the first 2 hours was fun, and it just kind of went all downhill from there. And I was high on this game. There isn't a lot coming out on consoles at the moment, so I was kind of like, oh, this will get me through the next month, because then there's like Ready or Not, and there's a RoboCop game, and Killing Floor comes out next month. So I was kind of like, from the multiplayer sort of co-op aspect, this should fill my boots for at least a month. And yeah, I haven't even got 2 days out of it, so a little bit disappointed in that front. If you do have Game Pass and you really want to check it out, then go for it. I think a lot of people are saying what I'm saying, is that at least when you complete it, you'll be bored. I think that's something almost everyone can agree on. Unless you're sponsored by Remedy with content, in which case it's an amazing game, apparently. It's funny how that always works. But yeah, I think that's where we're at with the review. If you didn't make it this far, hit the subscribe button, because that really does help us out, especially from a motivational standpoint. And you made it this far on a nerdy video reviewing Firebreak. So, like, come on, give us one. Hit the like button, because the algorithm's going to algorithm. Comment down below, have you played it? Are you interested in playing it? What are your thoughts? I'm just generally curious. I'd love to know, the different reasons why you didn't like this game. Or if you did like it. I'm often curious of how other people think, just because my brains are a little bit different to other people's. So I do like getting other people's opinions on things. Anyway, I'm going to edit this up, cut this up. I'm going to the gym after this. I'll probably look to do another video tonight. We'll see how we get on. Yep, that's going to be me. I'm out of here. Bye.